Yeah, and our whole thing's about just kind of helping each other. Kind of, record labels are kind of over with, and the music business. I was saying the other day, people are always using that term. You got to think outside the box, and the whole thing is there's really not even a box anymore to think outside of it. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, music industry is just what it is, what you want to make it, and so we saw kind of a strength in numbers thing about putting out music together, and maybe going back to the older model, they used to call it vertical integration, where you do everything at one place. You record your record, promote it, all in-house. Quit hiring, 8, 9 other outside people that you don't even know what they're doing with the money you spent on your, record. Especially in these days with all kinds of other ways to market music and stuff. It's really, really changing really quick. So we're pretty excited about this because, for instance, we've already just put 4 records out there. They are already all in profit, and that would never happen with even small independent labels or just other versions of record labels. So we're even with our label bringing an aspect of booking the artist through the label too. So it's kind of like one-stop shopping. Is like, so you just cut all these middlemen out of the picture, and you make great little records, and you co-op advertising together, and you go out and make honest music. And Butch Hancock kind of put it pretty clear for what's going on for a lot of the singer-songwriters. He goes, Jimmy, we sell dozens of records to discriminating listeners in small pockets of good taste. Because, there's house concerts now. There's, in the last week, I did 2 Unitarian churches, that were full of people. And, and they just rent out their space to songwriting. And, it gets people out of the smoky bars. I think, like I say, the box is gone. And I recently did a gig at Poor David's Pub, the legendary Dallas. And I hadn't played there for years, and I told poor David Carter, said, I'll come in and play, but I said, I will play only in if it's non-smoking. My crowd, I know my crowd, they'll get babysitters. They're not going to want me to go on at midnight. If I can go on by like 9:30 at the latest. I make it about I think people have started, rethinking some of the models of how clubs even worked over the years. Because I personally can make just as much money without playing clubs. I mean, this series probably has a whole genre of different kind of Texas acts. You have the Texas red dirt movement, which is totally different than the Oklahoma red dirt music, which I came from. But you can get more of the, and I know all those cats, Cross Canadian, because I actually grew up with them in Oklahoma. But you have that whole demographic of music. But what I found for the Austin singer-songwriter, a lot of us is we're out going to these really cool places all around the country. It could be churches, town halls, taking music right back into the community. It's like amazing what's going on. I just played the Thousand Oaks Public Library in California just last week. 200-seat auditorium in there. People showed up, potluck dinner. The night before was a outdoor folk festival up in the Sierra Mountains above Sacramento. So I mean, every night's a different thing. So I'm really excited about that. Music's kind of just going back to the basics. And like I say, Sun Records and people in the early days, they used to do everything in house. So that's the idea of this Austin label we're doing. And if you think about it, Austin's always needed a good label, a solid label. I mean, why is it that all the other music cities have had hundreds of really successful record labels, and Austin really, for the most part, can't name a really successful label that's been here for 20, 30 years. There's little labels, but what we're doing, we hope to make something really substantial, especially with the help of Kelsey Warren, who's really behind us, and he's the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. So we really want to do something, to really get the real music out there, because he's a passionate music fan like a lot of us, and it's just not being heard. So we're just exploring all the new avenues to get music marketed.